All right, my business besties. This week we are talking a little bit about tracking the ideas that you have for your new products or services. We're looking back a little bit to what we talked about last week in terms of having a simple system to help you through managing your tasks. But we didn't talk about what happens when you get these bright ideas for big projects. So that's what we're talking about today. Welcome back to Simplifying Small Business from the Growth Table. I am Karen Velez, and if you are watching me on video, as you can see, I am in a hoodie, I am in sweats. I have locked myself into my office for the day because it was a negative 18 wind chill outside this morning, and I am just not planning on going anywhere. So if this tells you anything at all, what it should tell you is that I don't come to you with any pretenses. I am dressed for whatever I'm doing today. Sometimes you'll see me dressed up in a suit or in, really nice clothes or something with my hair done and my makeup done and everything else because I just came from a networking event or I came from a client meeting or whatever that might be. Or you're going to see me like this. All that just means is I am just coming to you as who I am and giving you the advice that I have learned over 25 plus years of building small businesses and helping other people to do the same thing. I am not telling you anything that I wouldn't take advice for my own businesses and for my clients to do the same thing. I'm just keeping it straight with you, okay? And in keeping with that whole idea, I'm keeping it straight with you today about having ideas for new products or services and what to do with those. Because the problem that I see, if you are multi passionate like I am, and just by nature of being an entrepreneur, you come up with fantastic ideas all of the time. The problem with that is we also tend to want to jump on those new projects or those new ideas right away while we have the idea fresh in our head, while the motivation is there and the excitement is there. And also, if you're one of my neurospicy entrepreneurs, maybe you got a little bit of ADHD going on or something, right? That dopamine is hitting really hard when you first get that bright idea and you want to jump on it. The problem with this is twofold. Number one, if you are already working on several other projects and you are working with several products or lines of service in your business, and you suddenly start working on this brand new idea that you've come up with, well, now you're splitting your attention. The things that you were supposed to be focusing on, right? All those things we talked about last week that were on your weekly to do list suddenly are not getting the right amount of attention from you because your focus is being pulled over here to this new, shiny, bright idea. The shiny, bright ideas generally are entire projects all on their own, which means it's not just a one and done sort of a task. It's a list of tasks that need to be accomplished. All of those things that you would typically be moving to that to do list for the week or your not this week list, right? So you're going to be splitting your attention up between the things that you're supposed to be working on, the things that you had already planned to do, and the new shiny thing. And again, if you're one of my neurospices, then what happens is you've started this new project, you've put all kinds of energy into it, but then maybe the dopamine sort of starts to fade a little bit. You're not getting that sort of, energy from that project that you were. And now you're adding it to the pile of things on your to do list that sometimes tend to just live on the to do list. And either it doesn't get finished at all or it gets pushed so far into the future that you're not quite sure where to start with it again, right? Now, let me tell you, I am not any kind of an expert in managing ADHD or any of those types of things, okay? That's not my world. I just know this from personal experience in dealing with entrepreneurs who are a little neurospicy, who do have a little ADHD going on, and watching how their patterns repeat themselves. So, whether you're in that camp or not, maybe you're somebody who is just like me, who tends to turn hobbies into businesses or side hustles, right? Or, you have those shower moments or those in the car moments when you come up with a really good idea for your business. We're going to talk about what to do with those ideas when you already have a full plate of projects that you're focusing on. So, last week we talked a little bit about having an inbox for all of the things that pop up during the week that you think need to be done, and then taking one day out of the week to go through that inbox and assigning them where they need to go. Either it's something that's actionable, in which case you put it on your to do list or your maybe not this week list or a future project list, right? Or you decide it's not actionable and either it's a reference thing that gets put in a different folder or it gets nixed altogether. But what if those things in the inbox are actual ideas for full blown projects? This could be a new marketing strategy that you're thinking about pursuing. This could be a new product line. This could be a new service package, right? Any one of these things is going to be a multi step, multitask project that you really can't focus on right now and still be able to give the attention that is due your other projects at the same time. We can't continue to split our attention in that way. So, one thing that you can do is create yourself an idea vault, right? And I call it a vault because you quite literally are going to put it away for safekeeping. This is where you're going to take those ideas, those brainstorm moments of, oh, I really could do this and it would be fabulous. And we're going to put them over there in the vault. Once again, your brain is not someplace where we are storing things, okay? It's the idea center. It is not where we are storing these ideas. We want to get them out of our heads and put them out on paper so they stop taking away from our attention. So once they're in the vault, you can schedule a time. It could be once a month where you go back and you look at the vault. You look at those ideas and you can kind of pass them through a set of filters to decide whether or not you want to tackle one of those and whether or not this one is a priority or this one is a priority or you know what, maybe that wasn't such a great idea after all, and you take it out of the vault and off the list completely. Okay. So what would those filters be? The first one would probably be, is this going to bring additional revenue to my business? Okay. This is probably the most obvious one. If it's a new product, if it's a new service, and it's something that you see a demand for, then the answer to that is likely going to be yes, this will bring additional revenue into my business. But if the idea is maybe some new marketing scheme that you have seen, some approach that you haven't tried before, well, the question there or the answer there isn't as obvious. You don't know whether that form of marketing is going to bring revenue into your business. So your next filter would be, is this going to make any of my other systems more efficient? So I talk all about having systems in your business, especially if you are running your business by yourself. Systems make the work easier and more efficient so that you can stop working in your business all the time and spend more time working on your business, the things that sort of move the needle forward. So if this idea is going to make one of those other systems more efficient and free up your time to be able to do the things that are going to help move that needle, then okay, it might move to the top of the priority list. But if not, if it's just something that seemed like maybe it would be a fun thing to do and it's not really going to make anything better in terms of the operations of your business, well then maybe you put it through that last filter and you ask yourself, is this going to benefit my clients or my customers? So if it's not necessarily bringing in its own set of revenue and it's not really making your business operations better in any way, maybe it's something that is making the experience better for your customers or your clients. So this might be an idea for an add-on to an existing product. This might be an idea for something new in your line of services that is going to enhance the customer experience. And we know that enhancing the customer experience without necessarily raising prices actually helps a little bit with customer retention. Now, we don't want to go overboard, right? Once you start putting too many things in there, people get overwhelmed and then it doesn't seem like it's a good deal for them anymore. But adding little things here and there that help keep customers coming back to you, buying your products continuously, whether that's some sort of a loyalty program or bonuses or, different things that you can add that really increase what they get out of your product or your service actually is going to help with retention. So in a roundabout way, it's not maybe adding to your revenue, so to speak, but it is making sure that your revenue stays consistent. Okay. Those are the three sort of things that I would look at if I was thinking about adding something new, something big into my business. If it doesn't pass through one of those filters, then it likely isn't something that I need to be focusing on right now. I have all of these other tasks and projects that do need my attention, that have already gone through that filter, that I know are going to move my business forward in some way. So maybe now is not the time to mess with that, or maybe ever might not be the time to mess with that. It might be something that we take off the list altogether. Okay. So just to recap a little bit, not everything necessarily is going to go into your inbox. If it is a really, really big project, if it's a big idea, if it's a new product, if it's a new service, if it's something major, then maybe it doesn't really live in your inbox right away. Maybe it just goes into your idea vault and it stays there locked away until you have a moment to go through, put those ideas through that set of three filters to decide whether or not it's something that truly does need your attention in your business. And then you can prioritize it to decide when and if you will start that project. And if not, it's something that goes out the window and it's space that is freed up in your brain because you're no longer thinking about it. All right, I hope that was helpful. Just remember, if you want more insights like this, if you want help doing these things in your business, you can always join me in the Growth Table Small Business Collective. It is nothing but other small business owners doing the exact same things that you're doing at all different stages of their business. And you have access to me every single day. I'm in there on the platform every day, 7 days a week, and I'm answering questions and getting back to you. You can go to growthtablesbc.com. The link will be in the show notes. You've got this. I'm rooting for you, and I will see you next week.